Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I want to wish a very warm and thankful Veterans Day to all of our veterans. We're going to talk more about that later, but let's get into our show. Our weather brought to us live by Haney Technical Center at Baldwin and 77. Principal Mike Heppenstall, 767-5500. As you know, if you don't know, when you wake up this morning, it's cold outside. Right now in Panama City, it's 40 with a 31 degrees with a wind chill at 31. Mariana's 41. It's 42 down in Carabel. High today, 64, and low tonight, 40. And they're calling for some freeze warnings north of the Highway 20 corridor. So it's going to be cold tonight also. But then we're going to have this warming trend coming back in, and we're talking about getting back up in the 70s, 80s by the middle of next week. It's 41 in Mariana and 42, like I said, down in Carabel, but it's going to warm up. Boating forecast, winds out of north-northeast, and it's blowing right now. It's at 15 to 25 knots, and it's going to decrease to 5 to 15. So it's going to be a rough day to be on the water. Seas at 1 to 3 near shore and 3 to 5 offshore, and just a light to moderate chop on protected waters. The river readings about the same. The Apalachicola Bluntstown, 0.3. And the Choctawhatchee at Carabel is 8.4. They've been twin readings all year round. So the warming trend now will pick up in the middle of next week. But it's going to be cold today, so wear a jacket. And especially if you're going to be outside, dress in your layers and try to stay warm and comfortable to enjoy yourself. Let's take a look at our Carl Vernon Marine Specialties tide chart. As we've been talking about all week, today is 11, 11, 11. And a lot of people say it's a good luck day to have three numbers. I don't know, but I do know we do have some really strong tides. We're looking at a 632 low tide and a high tide of 834 with a 2-foot range today and tomorrow. So excellent tidal situation. Now, every Friday, we like to talk about Sea Quarters Marine and what a good sponsor they are down in Carabel. And on occasion, we get honored to talk with Millard Collins, manager of Sea Quarters, and we have Millard on the phone now. Good morning, Millard.
Good morning, Winston. How you doing today?
We're a little chilly up here. How about y'all?
Oh, this makes the fish bite, Winston. Makes the fish bite.
Well, give us a good fishing report down in Carabel.
The fishing's been good, offshore and inshore. Two of my buddies and I, we went Wednesday. Started in 50 feet of water. We caught some nice gags. We made 3 stops, and that's all the law let us catch. And we came back in, had a good day. Plus we had gag grouper, red grouper, a nice cobia, a flounder. The fishing was good. The bait fishing's good. A lot of redfish and trout in the river. This cold weather will really push them in.
Well, I'm telling you now, that's a good report right there, Miller.
Yeah, but it goes out. Group of fishing goes out the 15th, and I read in a bulletin from a commercial fisherman yesterday that the recreation fishing won't open up until June 1st unless they make some kind of change.
Wow, that's not good.
Hey, they're going to put us out of business. And charter boat out of business. Who's going to buy a fishing license? What's the state going to do when nobody's buying fishing license?
Well, that's not going to be good.
It's going to be off. There's somebody about to make a change. A lot of restaurants here in town's already closed, and I don't see. I can keep the doors open.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a full grasp of how they're affecting our economy along the coastline. I don't think they do.
It's awful, Winston.
Yeah.
And I know these charter guys with the big boats that depend on tourists going fishing, and they won't let you catch nothing unless you're a commercial fisherman.
That's true. And then someone like you goes out this week and catches just a good mess of fish, and they're good, healthy fish out there, and you probably haven't, I can guess right now, you haven't fight away the red snapper, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. We caught some. I weighed the biggest one. I think it was 14 pounds. We caught several of them. There's plenty of fish out there.
Yes.
And the people who has been going have been catching fish.
Well, okay.
But the rules and regulations, they're going to put a lot of people out of business, and I hate it. If you don't get sponsored, you're going to be out of business.
Yeah, we're going to keep working on looking at on the bright side, just keep fishing and hoping things are going to work out for everybody.
That's right, Winston.
All right, but listen, we're going to have to get together, and if I know grouper season going out next year, we're going to grouper fish together.
That sounds good to me.
Okay, I might get down there during Thanksgiving or something and try to catch some redfish down there around the place.
Okay, good talking to you.
Good talking to you, Millard.
All right, have a good weekend.
You too, buddy. Millard Collins down at Seaquarters Marina in Carabel. The Pearl of the Panhandle, great place to fish, and that's a live report as what they've done this week. It's a great fishing down there. He's catching them in 45 to 50 foot of water, all those grouper, and caught his limit real quick. All right, let's take our first break, and we'll be right back.
We are so lucky to live in North Florida. We have some of the best fresh and saltwater fishing in the world. My biggest problem is not catching fish, but trying to decide what kind of fish I want to catch. No matter what I'm after, I always stop at Sunjammers Water Sports first. They have just what I need: rods and reels, line, tackle, and most important, live bait. Yes, sir, we sure are lucky.
Bill Kramer Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC is Panama City's exclusive full-line dealership, built on a 45-year foundation of trust and total customer satisfaction in all departments, including our huge pre-owned department, where we'll pay top dollar for your current automobile as a trade-in, or we'll place your vehicle on our lot and help you sell it. At Bill Kramer Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. 4 decades, 3 generations, 1 tradition.
Hi, I'm Paul Flagg with Professional Fiberglass and Marine Service. We offer all types of boat repair, fiberglass work, bottom painting, detailing, buffing. If your gel coat's looking dull, we can get that boat looking good for you again. We also offer a pickup and delivery service, and we have trailers that you can use if we are going to work on your boat, and we can come and get your boat for you. We can be reached at 850-960-9054, or you can reach us on the web at profiberglassmarine.com.
Panama City living is simply better without glasses. The Eye Center of North Florida offers the most advanced cataract surgery using lifestyle lens implants, which allow you to see all distances glasses-free. Our surgeons perform this quick and painless procedure at our accredited surgery center. When it comes to your vision, trust your local experts in surgical eye care. The Eye Center of North Florida.
9 doctors, 1 vision, yours.
All right, welcome back. On the phone, our good buddy Captain Scott Lindsay, and Scott's sister took some pictures of the eagle the other day, and we're trying to get the full story, so I didn't want to mess it up. So I told Scott, I said, listen, I'm gonna get these pictures from you of this eagle, and I want you to tell this story because it's a fascinating story. And a lot of times we take for granted some of these little things that happen in outdoors, and now she was able to capture these pictures. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, buddy. Good to hear from you. You up early today?
I'm up early every morning. I got a bunch of dogs that come look at me and say, let us out.
Well, I know you get to watch the show. I appreciate all the feedback that you give us and all. So tell us about these eagle pictures. We're going through them.
Well, right before we get started, though, let's just tell all the vets how much we appreciate them. My daddy, the day, if he were alive, is my daddy's birthday. He was born on Armistice Day. When the Armistice for the First World War.
Wow.
He was a fighter pilot in the Navy in World War II and flew off the USS Enterprise.
Great.
In the South Pacific.
That's great.
So there are a lot of veterans out there that sure need a pat on the back.
Yes, that's right.
All right. My sister takes a lot of pictures of this and that and got a fine camera. And she was up in New Brockton here a while back. Over on the property that's owned by Bama Jam. Everybody's heard of Bama Jam, where they have to get together and have a bunch of bands and things. And they got a pond there, a freshwater pond. It's a farm pond. And somebody hollered, look at that eagle. And she grabbed her camera and walked over to the bank. And this eagle was circling the pond. Well, under the eagle, you've seen people that are around water have seen these ducks that come down this time of year. They're called coots. A lot of people call them gizzards because if they kill one, that's all they eat is a gizzard. That's kind of a waste. But this eagle had his eye on these coots.
Okay.
And he was up. You can tell he's up quite a ways right there, and he was surveying the situation. And then he started circling down lower and lower and lower. And if you look down right under him, you'll see a splash. And that's those ducks getting out of the way. They knew they were in harm's way right there. good things were not going to happen if they didn't get out of there. Well, they couldn't take off and fly. He could catch them flying. He could catch them taking off. So they just dove down. Well, after a while, she said he'd go sit in a tree, and he would watch these ducks, and then when they'd all come back up and kind of get over everything, he would dive down on them again. And there he is, probably 5 feet above the ducks.
Wow.
They kind of weren't paying attention right there and let him get right up on them. But number one, to see an eagle doing anything like this is unusual in this part of the world. If you lived in Alaska, you might see it all the time. But to see it down here is very unusual. Well, you know, you've seen this eagle claw commercial where the eagle reaches down in the water and picks up a fish and flies off, and that's eagle claw hooks.
Yeah.
And it's the eagle claw is as sharp as an eagle's claw. You see that splash right under that, the right of that eagle? That's a duck going under. That's a duck that almost became a meal for an eagle. And he is probably 1.5 feet above, and he didn't stop right there. He went right on down and went into the water.
Wow.
Looks like an osprey. And he is under the water beside his wings. And I was surprised that they could. I didn't know if they had the oil in their wings to recover from being saturated, but obviously they do. Now, he did not catch that duck. That duck went on down, but you can see he's probably 1.5 feet. His feet are probably 1.5 feet under the water. That's how desperate he was to get him something to eat. And in the next picture, the eagle is swimming around in that bunch of ducks. I mean, it is the craziest thing anybody ever seen. He's out there paddling around. He doesn't have feet equipped to paddle around in water. But I don't know if he was just kind of telling them, "Come on, boys, you know, I'm not mad at you. Come on, let me put my arm around you and show you how I love you." But that eagle was starving to death. He was very hungry. And who knows how long this has been going on. Unless you see it, you never know what's going on. But that's a big raptor, and he can fly down and tote a puppy off. So you know he can grab a bird no bigger than a coot. And these coots are what you see right now on the road. You be riding down the road, you see something black laying in the road with feathers. Those are coots that have just got down here, and from the air, the highway looks like water, and they'll fly down and bust their quietus, and then cars will run over them. But that's why they don't light the highway for the fun of it. They think it's water.
Yeah.
And you'll see them down. You could go down to Phillips Inlet right now, and you'll see a big black raft out there, and it's coots.
Yeah.
And they're all ganged up, and they do it for protection because, you know, like I say, in deer hunting, you got 5 or 6 does around you. You got 12 eyes looking at you, and they can all look. And that was I thought that was just really neat to have a camera when that happened. It's kind of like filming a car wreck. You just don't ever do it. You film it afterwards or before, but you just can't do it at the moment of impact. And to have a camera there when that happened,
that was just some great photography. She obviously had a lot of practice. I mean, that's just great pictures.
She's got a good camera and a strong lens, and she's been taking pictures. She used to take pictures for the Birmingham News for their sports page.
Oh, good. Well,
back years ago.
You get her to watch this on YouTube tonight, so she can witness on television too.
I'll certainly inform her of that, and I'm sure she will.
Scott, that's great. I appreciate you sharing that with our viewers.
Well, once you have a good weekend, and if we don't all freeze, I'm going to try to go catch speckled trout.
Aha, that's where you headed, huh?
I don't know what else to do. I don't know. I can't get a real good handle on this. It's going to blow or not. I've heard people say it's not going to blow Saturday, and I heard it is going to blow. So we know it's going to be cold.
Okay. Well, I'll call and check on you.
All right.
Thank you, Scott.
Let's see.
All right. Great pictures there. Scott Lindsay with his sister taking those pictures. Let's take our next break, and we'll be back with some Veterans Day news.
Harold Milling Company, rough and tough dog food. Harold Milling Company builds it. They build hog feed. They build dairy feed. They make chicken feed. They have specialty feeds for rabbits. If you got a worm farm, grandmother used to have a worm farm. Look at that, Harold Milling Company. You want to go down and get the dog's not running anymore. That's all over with. You want to get that 16% and drop down from the 26% protein. You don't want old Rover to get fat. Harold Milling Company, you can buy it almost any feed store in the Panama City area.
Captain's Cove Marina, designed with fishermen in mind. Easy access to the best fishing along Florida's forgotten coast. Deep sea fishing, fly fishing from a kayak, cruising endless miles of bayous, bays, and the intercoastal waterway. Count on the captain's crew to work hard to make your day on the water the best ever. Captain's Cove Marina, 1617 Grouper Avenue, Port St. Joe, 850-227-3357.
On down to Blue Water Outrigger, where you'll always find friendly service, fresh and saltwater fishing rods, top of the line men's and women's apparel. Don't forget to pick up your live baits and let us help you with all your outdoor needs. Check out our wide selection of top quality reels and hunting necessities and everything in between. Come see us or order online. We'll be waiting for you right next door to Piggly Wiggly, Port St. Joe.
Panama City Beach is known as one of the top dive destinations in Florida. Divers Den offers daily dive charters that can accommodate up to 13 divers. Our boat captain is U.S. Coast Guard certified and a PADI dive instructor. We have trained professionals who offer a variety of scuba certifications. Come see us at our 2 locations on Thomas Drive and Tyndall Parkway.
All right, welcome back. We're going to just take time out and talk a little bit about veterans and honor them. And in so doing, I can't help but think of the greatest generation. Scott Lindsay just mentioned his dad in World War II, and my father-in-law, Mr. Lewis Gregory. My dad was in the Battle of the Bulge. And take a look at this one. This was a special one I found out about last night. In our control room, running all our controls, is Tom Gurley. You've seen a lot of his pictures he's taken. This is Tom Gurley's dad, and we're going to honor him today. That's Thomas Rentz Gurley, Quartermaster, U.S. Navy. He was killed in action on board the USS Hoyle as a destroyer in the Battle of Leyte Gulf in October of 1944. Tom was telling me this morning his dad saw him one time. He was about 8 or 9 weeks old. They were able to go from Corinth, Mississippi, up to Maryland, to Bainbridge, Maryland, and his mom got to see the dad before he shipped off, and Tom never got to spend those quality times with Dad, and that's the kind of sacrifice that Americans have made throughout the history of our country. So we're going to honor him. That's okay. In addition, I'm going to talk about my father-in-law a few minutes, Mr. Lewis Gregory, who just passed away, as you know, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm going to go way back to 1936, and we're going to talk a few minutes. Hope we get all this in, but we're going to take time to do it. 1936, Captain Mr. Lewis Gregory, before he went off in the war. This is high school football schedule, Gaston High School football schedule, 1936, and you know you can't read it, but that's the Marianners, the Live Oaks, the Chipleys, and the Apalachicolas, and down at the bottom it says captain of the football team, and the quarterback is Lewis Gregory, and we were able to salvage this and had it, and that's the kind of, and he went down to the University of Florida, then left school there and joined the Army Air Corps, and got in some training. I'm just going to show you some pictures of some of the training he went in, and this is he wanted to be a pilot, so they got him in school there, and this is talking about he's holding now the P-38. He flew the P-38, and these are some of the pictures that he was able to get out of from the Army, just working on controls there. And this is, you can imagine. When he first stepped in, I remember him talking to us about when he first stepped in the cockpit of P-38. He said, you can imagine how I felt when I climbed in with all those dials and all that. And he learned to fly the P-38 down in Tampa. And then, if you know anything about World War II history, and the history on the far left of this picture, I may have to hold it there, Jeff. I don't know if, on the far left, okay, right there. Top row, that's Lieutenant, the ace of aces, Richard Dick Bong, back row, far left, okay? Then fade back out, and Dick Bong was legendary in World War II as the ace of aces is what they called him. On the third from the right, top, in front of his P-38, third from the right, 1, 2, 3. That's my father-in-law, Mr. Lewis Gregory. He was in the same squadron, and he actually, that was in August of, this was August of 1945 is when Dick Pong died. Okay, now, he had the honor of, Mr. Gregory had the honor of Dick Pong pinning these medals on him. It's a great honor to have these medals, and I want to just talk about these medals real quick, and then we're going to wrap it up. This is the Bronze Star Leaf Cluster, and it was worn for all kind of awards that the air medals and all he won. Fought in North Africa and flew the P-38 against the German forces of Rommel, and actually had some battle actions and shot down some German planes and great stories. I don't have time today to go into the stories of his P-38 exploits, but above him just being a great World War II veteran and hero to all of us, he was such a kind and gentle man and a wonderful father-in-law. And all the veterans out there, we honor you today for the sacrifices you have made. Mr. Lewis Gregory lost his brother in the U.S. Marine Corps in the Pacific Islands like 1 month before the war ended in 1945. And again, you see Tom Gurley's picture of his dad, and all these sacrifices, and the guys that are servicemen right now out at Tyndall and the Navy base and all. We appreciate your service. The Iraq War, we work together with Wounded Warriors program, and we're just proud to support all of y'all because of what you sacrificed for our country. So we'll end this segment now, and we'll come back. We'll get our drawings and also do our famous Friday fishing forecast. Okay.
My name's Captain Rick Corley. I'm a SAMS accredited Marine Surveyor, NAM certified Marine Surveyor, and IAME certified Marine Investigator. Been surveying since 1969. Was taught by my father, who is the oldest, longest practicing Marine Surveyor in the world. We do all types of survey, commercial or pleasure. Steel, aluminum, fiberglass, wood, makes no difference. Give us a call at 850-527-5287 or visit us online. We'd appreciate your business.
The greatest investment we can all make is in the lives of our children and grandchildren.
To help you invest for retirement, handle your IRA rollover, protect your family with life or long-term care insurance, call my dad for an appointment at his new office on Wilson Avenue behind Lowe's. And he'll give you a copy of his most recent book, 7 Steps to Serious Money. For free! Walter Woodrick, your serious money advisor!
When you think of a successful hunting season, two things come to mind: Browning and C&G Sporting Goods. Browning is the best there is, and C&G Sporting Goods is your factory direct, full-line Browning dealer. C&G stocks Browning guns, camo, knives, scopes, gun safes, bows, and much more, including hunting and fishing license. Look over the new Browning BAR camo short track and X-Bolt rifles. Why pay good money for anything less than a Browning? Browning and C&G, the best there is. Home of the experts.
What do you value? The feel of fertile soil? The smell of fresh-cut grass? The pride of an autumn harvest? The belief that it's not really work if you enjoy it? And above all, the end justifies the tractor. Kubota. Power, versatility, comfort. Everything you value in a tractor.
See and save on all Kubota tractors and equipment at Soul Tractor today.
And my wife just called me and said, you forgot the Vietnam veterans. I did not mean to leave you out. We appreciate your service. A lot of guys in my generation sacrificed too. So all you veterans out there in the whole umbrella, we appreciate your service to our country. Let's take a look at our express lane fishing game forecast. We're looking at only one time today. We're looking at 12/17 to 2/17. That's brought to us by Express Lane, American owned and American operated. Got some good pictures. I appreciate all you folks sending pictures and sharing them with our viewing audience. We're going to take a look down at St. Joe, right off the marina wall there in St. Joe, and take a look at this redfish. This is sent to us by Jana Miller from Alpha, riding down to the coast, and sitting, where that wall right there is. Guessing it's about 38-inch, 30-pounder, caught at St. Joe Marina Wednesday with a 15-pound test using a green-black rattle trap, caught by Jim Miller of Alpha. Congratulations, that's a nice fish right there, buddy. And now let's get to our tarpon dock. Well, we got to do first. We got to do our drawing, folks. We're going to run out of time, but we're going to keep on pressing on. Okay, this is our drawing. Talk to Maria Abrams today. Listen to this, veterans. If you go to Tarpon Dock Seafood today, you're going to get a 15% discount on your purchase. All veterans for today. And that is a great deal. We appreciate the Abrams family and all they do for our community. All right, we're going to draw out two prizes today. One will be a red snapper, the first one, and the second one will be a $20 gift certificate, okay? And the red snapper winner is Gilbert Faircloth from Weewall. Gilbert Faircloth, and the $20 gift certificate winner from Panama City Beach, Nate Schaefer. Two good winners there. All right. Now let's quickly get into our, we're not going to finish, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, look at it online with the feeding times and a total report, but we'll touch base real quick on our famous Friday fishing report. Talked to Bruce Mixon last night, and also he sent me the email. He wanted to wish everyone Veterans Day too. I know his dad was in Eglin for a long time. I knew his dad. And his grandfather served in the Army in Europe for World War II. He put all this down. So you see how Panhandle is full of veterans and veteran appreciators. Fishing was slow in South Walton, very similar to some other areas. He said the bay hadn't been a lot of people on the bay, because of the wind. I got a good report, he said, from a friend who caught 7 pompano surf fishing, averaging about 3 pounds apiece. So he got in one of those holes over there on South Walton Beach. The reds are around the mouth of the river and also around Black Creek, along with the specks moving up in there. And the reds are in schools now and all around the place. And the mullet have started moving into the rivers and creeks. And those guys are baiting the mullets with dog food, having a really good week right there. And here locally, floundering, you saw some of the pictures I had this week. The full moon was Thursday night. Tuesday night, they say you can't flounder, well, the moon was out. Tuesday night we had some, one of my former students sent me some pictures of 5 nice flounders they got gigging right up under the full moon. So at times you can do that. Red fishing, you saw the pictures I showed of red fishing in West Bay was excellent this week. East Bay had some good trout reports and some very large ones. Okay, the pier, we had a 23-pound king caught for pier and a 19-pound king caught for pier, and caught some flounder along the pilings and caught just a few pompano. And talked to Blair Morgan. It was slow in St. Joe Bay this week, but really strong at the mouth of the Apalachicola River. But you saw that picture a while ago off the seawall at St. Joe, right there at the city there. And then we just had Miller to give a great report from Carabel with all the fishing. So you can see the fish are hitting. And folks, we got to squeeze it all in. And more details, and get your time by going online. And don't forget, like Marcus Parrish just emailed me, and he's a proud owner of a Panhandle Outdoors shirt that they bought off the shop. We're going to talk about this Monday too. Got to get out of here. I'm running late. Thank you all for watching. Have a great Veterans Day. Thank all of you veterans, and God bless you.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.